Hey guys, since a lot of you loved my last video and left a lot of comments asking me to film a video about ICT Judas Swing model, I thought today would be the absolute perfect day because this morning I took an absolutely monstrous trade that netted me over $6,000 in profit using this exact same model that I have right here. Now this is the Judas Swing by ICT himself, and this is a little tick sheet just like I did in my previous video that you guys can follow along, tick off, just so that you know you have the perfect trade set up. Right, so what we will do is number one, we need to know our directional bias. So what we do is we come over to the charts, go on a daily time frame, and first of all we can see that price is creating lower highs and lower lows. Now this means that we are in a bearish market, therefore we are looking for sells. Right, we drop down to the 4 hour and we can see the same thing happening here. We're making lower highs and lower lows, which means again we are looking for sells. So now we come down to the 1 minute, and now what we do is we wait for the correct time. So the Judas swing will happen at the end of the Asian session. And what we have to do is we have to mark out the Asian session highs and lows because that is the liquidity that we're targeting. Perfect. So we tick off both of those, we come over to the chart, and I personally like to use this indicator right here. It's literally called the Asian session range by Rob Minty. And when you put this on, it will show you the high and the low of the Asian session range. It will also show you the London session, the New York session. But me personally, as I said, for this strategy, I like to use it so that I don't have to manually mark out the Asia highs and lows. It does it all for me, right? So just for the sake of ease, what we're going to do is we're going to mark out the Asia highs right here. Bang. Oh. And we're also going to mark out the Asia lows right here. That's not where it should be. It should be here. Perfect. Okay, so Asia highs, Asia lows, marked out. Perfect. So we've marked out the Asia highs and lows, and now all we're doing is we're waiting for price to sweep either the Asia high or the low, and we're going to wait for a market structure shift. Perfect. So we come back to the charts, and now it's a waiting game. So now we're waiting, and boom, there it is. There is our sweep of the Asia high, and now we wait for a market structure shift. Okay guys, so if you watched my last video, tell me something. Would you class this as a market structure shift? Now I'll give you a second to think about it. Would you class this right here as a higher high, higher low, higher high? Tell me. Okay, time's up. This is not anything. This, as I mentioned in the last video, is just noise. This is one big move. This is how it is supposed to look, right? Do not class this or anything that is complex structure as anything relevant, because this hasn't done anything, right? Your most relevant swing point is right here to here to here. This is nothing, right? So now we wait for price to do its thing. It carries on, it carries on. And now guys, here's another little nugget for you. When you have some more time in the markets, you will start to understand when you see price slowing down. As we can see, we created a higher high, higher low, higher high, higher low, and now we failed to create another higher high. Can you see that price is now failing to go and break above here? Now what this means is that price is starting to lose momentum. The bulls have pushed, the bears have came back, and now the bulls should push back up and break this, right? Now that's how market structure works. This needs to be broken for us to have a higher high, then a higher low and a higher high, right? However, price has failed. So now that price has failed, what we can do is we can mark out this low right here and see if that gets broken. Because if that gets broken, now that gives us our market structure shift. And boom. Perfect. So let's mark this out so you guys can see it, right? So we've had a higher low, higher high, higher low, higher high, higher low, failure to create a new higher high, breaking this higher low to create now a lower low. So now we're looking for a lower high somewhere up here for price to continue down to create a lower low, lower high, lower low, right? Now that in itself is a market structure shift, sentiment change, change of character, whatever you want to call it. But at the end of the day, we've now broken structure to the downside. We're no longer in a bullish market because otherwise that would have happened. Instead, this has happened. So now we're looking for this, right? I hope that made sense. Bear with me. I am a little bit under the weather. So if my voice is crackling or if I'm not explaining things, just bear with me, okay? Right. So now let's get back to it. So now we've seen the Asia highs and lows get swept. We've seen the Asia high get swept. Now we're waiting for identification of the fair value gap that caused the market structure shift. So now let's go back onto the charts and let's find, right? Let me zoom in. Let me see if you guys can already pick up where it is. Here we go. Right there. Perfect. So now that is our fair value gap. And now the last thing to do is place a limit order at the beginning of the fair value gap, stops above the high/low, and target opposing liquidity. So let's tick that off, come back to the charts, place our short position right here, stops above the high right there, and now we're targeting opposing liquidity right there. So that is a beautiful 1 to 5 risk to reward trade if that plays. So let's see what happens. And now we're tapped in. Let me speed this up. Oh, where have I gone? Here we go. Perfect. So we've tapped in, and now price is chopping away, and eventually comes down and hits our target right there. Beautiful. So now that was an absolutely beautiful 1 to 5 risk to reward trade, as you can see played out right in front of you guys. Beautiful 1 to 5 risk to reward. What I'll do is I will also leave right here the screenshot of the trade that I took this morning, and as you can guys see, I took it exactly where I've marked it out here, rode it all the way down to liquidity, and that ended up netting me over $6,000 in profit off of this one single trade. Now, this setup does happen quite frequently. You don't need to trade every single day. Just one good quality setup like this right here is all you need, because as you can see, 1 to 5 risk to reward off of one trade. If you are trying to pass an FTMO challenge or a prop firm challenge, literally 2 trades like this is all you need in order for you to pass and be a profitable trader. So now I will leave this link in the bio so that you can also have access to this checklist, so that you know you're ticking off every step of the way and you know that it's the perfect trade setup for you. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, please leave a like, share and comment down below. Let me know if I missed anything. Let me know if you like the strategy. Let me know if you've also back tested it, if you found it useful. Hope you've enjoyed the video, guys. Peace. I will see you soon. Take care.